Okay, good afternoon. Praise God. Right, we thank God for this afternoon and for getting this opportunity to learn about financial literacy from Mr. Ambrose. I know you have been interacting with him at school, but maybe not so much in this capacity. So Mr. Ambrose used to be the school administrator, but now he has been promoted. He's the country finance manager. He manages the accounts for the entire organization, and he has been there for many years, having enough knowledge of finance. Managing huge figures, it's not a joke. You understand? You may just have your 5,000 and it's confusing you. So anyways, I've always loved to say this in the introductions I make, that one of my mentors taught me that if you cannot treasure a coin, you cannot be trusted with millions. So yes, we're going to learn about finance, and we have few in number, but you see, when Mr. Ambrose has stopped his other stages and has come to be here, it's because you guys matter. If we cannot mentor you enough, we cannot be trusted to lead a big number of people. So at the moment, I want to ask us to pay keen attention as he shares. Some people are joining online, so make sure you write and make sure you ask questions. Let's put our hands together as Mr. Ambrose.
Thank you, Mr. Brandon. Welcome for the opportunity. I don't take it lightly.
Thank you.
Yeah, you see, I've been talking about some of the things that I'm going to talk about today at the personal level, one-on-one. But when you told me that I was going to share about this, that I should prepare to share about this, it made me now also start looking for the content and put it together. I realized that it is high time that I put this information together, so that next time if I'm to talk about such a thing on another platform, it becomes easier for me because I already have the information to put together. So in other words, it has helped me to push me a little bit higher. I should prepare the content and have it, and it becomes a little bit easier for me. Yes. So I don't know whether we can go on.
Yeah, you can go on. People online are already following.
Okay, thank you. So first, I just want to congratulate you for finishing the other level, the high school level. I think it's now, it's 21 years. Those of you who have done mathematics, since I finished high school. I finished in 2004, 20 years. 20 years, 2004. So I have the age, I have the years. So 20 years are so many. Yeah, so that's the time when I finished the senior 6, and I can imagine what it means for you to finish senior 6. It's such a big, I think, honor, but also it's also sets you to another stage of life. And I don't know what you are thinking about. I don't know what you're planning to do, but as we keep interacting, we shall get to know. So I would desire to involve us as time goes on, and I keep getting some few things from you, so that I can get to know your level of understanding of this thing. So, but I've been asked to talk about financial literacy. Financial literacy is the same as financial knowledge, what you need to know about finances. And maybe before I wish I could get some few expectations. When you were told that you'll be learning about financial literacy, what came into your mind? what are you expecting? Yeah, just like 3 people. Yeah, free microphone. Yeah. Yes.
When I heard that financial literacy, major things that I expected to learn are first managing finances. Second is how to budgeting and proper allocation of the money I have as a teenager.
Okay. Managing finances and budgets.
Yeah, budgeting.
And then budgeting. Yeah, thank you very much. Can we clap for her? I know we're meant to be a teacher. I'm not taking it to be students, but I just because of that background. Yeah, but thank you so much. Someone who wants to add on? Yes.
Yeah, firstly, when I heard about financial literacy, one of the sticking to my mind was that what means should I use the money that I get at the present that will help me to save for the later time. So what I was thinking is the money I have now, how should I use it so that I could save? I could make a balance to save.
Okay, thank you very much. So she has talked about managing finances and budgeting. We talked about saving. How can I save the little that I get? And we are going to realize that you have money. You are not earning, but you have money. Yes, you see money. The last person? Yes.
My expectations were you teach us about how money works.
How money works.
How money works in society.
Yes.
And how things of currencies.
Yes.
In East Africa, maybe.
Okay.
Or how to use money properly.
Okay, how money works. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we can go on. For you who are here, at least you know me. My name is Musinguzi Ambrose. I sometimes put there my father's name, which is Mugisha, but here it's not there. I am married to Magoi Waziri, one wife, and 3 daughters. I'm blessed to have 3 daughters. Yes. My education is the Bachelor of Arts in Education. I majored in economics when I was at the university for my first degree. And recently I added on Masters of Accounting and Finance. And I've also gone back to school this year. I am doing CPA Tanzania. That's why there is CPA T. There is CPA Kenya, CPA Uganda, but mine is CPA T. Kwa hiyo nikimaliza, you'll be calling me CPA T Ambrose Musinguzi. Yeah. But yes, again, like Brother Brandon introduced me, I've been at Cornerstone. I think now we come into like 15, 16 years, 2000, like 16 years. And much of my working career has been around finances. And yeah, it has been around finances. So like most of you say, financial literacy, we want to shed more light or knowledge about budgeting, about saving, about investment, so that you can be able to make informed decisions, like you said, to manage your finances well. And somewhere I will tell you the story of what I did. I know I have already said it somewhere, but I would want to repeat it for those who are not here. What I did when I finished my senior 6. Yeah, when I finished my senior 6. So financial literacy is all about the knowledge of budgeting, saving, investing, so that you can be able to make informed decisions or manage finances well. Managing finances well. And so, and interestingly, when I was looking at this picture, I saw the picture on this barrel. If you look inside the barrel, there is something like a pig. And I think it is 2 years ago. I went to Uganda with my 2 daughters. By then I had 2 daughters. And my aunt went to a supermarket and bought 2 pigs for the it's called it bank pigs, and yes, and gave them to my daughters. And so they are using them. Right now they have them. They are putting there whatever that we give them sometimes. Yeah, what people give them, they put them there. So today when I was looking at this, I had before she gave me that, I had never seen it. I knew, of course, they make them from all kinds of materials, wood, metals, ingine wanaweka chini ya carpet na nini, wewe sijui unaweka wapi. Kuna mama wanaweka kwenye brazier. Yeah, anaweka kwenye brazier, then baadaye anasema zimepotea, sioni. Na sijui walikuwa natunza wapi, lakini before she gave them this, I had not seen this. He said you called it what? Pig bar. I had not seen it. Yeah. So it was interesting to find it here. But you can also see there is an ATM card and kuna mfuko wa dollars. So other definitions according to Investopedia, financial literacy is the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills, including personal financial management, budgeting, and investment. And you realize that it's on the same area, same budgeting, saving. There are other definitions talk about debts or borrowing because it's a source of money, and then investing. So Wikipedia defines financial literacy as the possession of skills, knowledge, behaviors that allow an individual to make informed decisions regarding money. And I can say some of these skills, we can adopt them along the way. Some of them we adopt them as early as possible. Some of us have personalities that make it very easy to adopt these skills. Like I like saying that certain personalities are good at certain careers. And the finance requires certain attributes and skills. There is a lady, I wish to use her name, she's called Lightness. And in her absence here, I remember she's doing business and she's doing well. You know, she was in the 3rd class, I think. But someone was telling me how she's doing. And I narrated the story about this student when she was a student. This lady, she's now married. When she was a student, I remember telling her that you need to pay money for buying the second uniform and the shamba wear. And she told me, I'm not going to pay that money, and I am going to put on the uniform 24/7. And you'll always meet me with it. And that's what happened for her 2 years. She would be putting on it. And so today when I hear that she's doing well in business, I look back at certain behaviors that she had, and I tell her it's not by mistake. She had already cultivated something. And so you may need to start early to cultivate certain habits for you to be able to manage finances. And so Wikipedia says financial literacy is the position of skills, knowledge, and behavior that allow individuals to make informed decisions regarding money. So key concepts that we are going to look at is budgeting, saving, investment, debt, and borrowing. So this is very key, and these different aspects that we're going to look at very quickly, they are deep, and you may require even so many sessions to be able to cover them. But we are going to look at basic knowledge and basic ideas about each one of them. And where I need to involve you, I will try to involve you. So budgeting, saving, investment, debt stroke, borrowing is what we are going to look at today. So budgeting is the process of estimating revenue and expenses over a specific period of time. So in this case, I will not require you to cram or to the definitions are not so much important for you. But what is so key is what is like revenue and also need. What is it all about revenue? What about expenses? And I hope that as we go on, you will understand. But we are saying that you plan ahead of time. This is going to be my revenue. Revenue can be defined as receipts or income that comes to you. So ahead of time, I say, I am going to get 50,000 as pocket money from my parents. And then you plan ahead of time, what should I use it for? So what you use it for is your expenses that you plan ahead of time. And of course, if it is 50,000, I would not expect you to plan for 100,000, unless if there is where you're going to get more money, as we're going to see later. But so budgeting is all about making estimates about your revenue and your expenses. Recently, I was listening, I think 2 days ago, I was watching someone who's talking about budgeting. And he said that most of us do what we think is budgeting, but it's not budgeting. We list down things that we want to do. Let's say, I want to buy books, I want to buy pens, I want to buy food, I want to do this. Then after another week, you list another list. You go to the market and buy. But this is not budgeting, because you find the list is not having a relationship with the income. Unless that list is attached to the income that you expect, it's not budgeting. It's just a list. Kwamba, I want to buy A, B, C, D. I want to buy shoes, I want to buy this. But now you are not connecting it to income, because it's not budgeting. It's just a list. So it should be in relation to the income you expect, the revenue you expect. So again, so budgeting, we are saying we can look at sources of income or revenue, and I've said it's not very key for you to master all these or to remember them, the definitions, but just know what it means. So revenue or income. Sources of revenue. Sources of revenue, the major source of revenue can be salaries and wages. And salaries and wages is what you get after you have done work. Like we shall see, you get money, but you have not done work. That's not a salary and a wage. A salary and a wage is what you get after you have done work. You have performed a certain task, and someone pays you for that task in relation to the amount of work you have done. So that's salary and wage, the source of income. Dividend. Dividend is the interest you get, for example, umeshasikia hisa, like shares. So, for example, you have bought shares, and then there is maybe they pay every after 6 months, they pay you the interest. That's called dividend, the language of finance. Interest earned, like on an account, a bank account. It can be a savings account, which is a quarterly savings account. Savings account and fixed deposit account, they are called terms account, meaning that they are managed on terms. You withdraw money according to the terms that you have agreed. So most savings and fixed deposit accounts, they carry interest. Fixed account has more interest than savings account. Fixed account, it could be quarterly also. You fix money quarterly. After the quarter, you get the interest, you take it back. After the second quarter, you take it back. You fix it again. But you could save quarterly, annually, semi-annually. But we learned that in finance, the more you save several times, the more you make money. It talks about how does money work. The more you get money and take it back and take it back and take it back, you earn more than the one who gets it at once, who gets it after 3 years and then takes it back. You earn more. So interest earned, you can earn interest, for example, on when you have saved money on an account, bank account, like savings account or fixed deposit account. Pocket money can be source of your income. You can receive pocket money from relatives, from parents, gifts. You can receive a gift and it's your source of income. Donations, like can be given a donation. Either you have a charity, you have like an organization, You have a company, you're doing some charity work, and then someone gives you a donation. And then winning a lottery, to mention but a few. Games based on chances. There are lotteries which are national lotteries and they are allowed by the government to win a lottery. So expenses, remember that on budgeting we talked about estimating revenue and expenses. So we need to understand what are these. So we've said that revenue is about the receipt that you get, and it can be maybe after selling the product, or like we've seen, if it's income, it's about the money like you earn. And so expenses or expenditure. Examples of expenses are like rent, utilities. For example, like you pay look, like you pay water bill. Communication expenses like airtime, internet, leisure, or recreation. So an expense is a cost that you incur to get a product. For example, you have incurred a cost to buy, let's say, a shoe, a shirt. That's an expense. So before we go there, we talked about financial literacy, what it's all about, some key areas that we're going to look at, which is saving, budgeting, saving, investing, and debts. And then we looked at a few examples of sources of income, and we have also looked at the like examples of expenses or expenditure. So I have an activity here which I think that works. Brother Brian, maybe you help me give them a paper, and we shall use it again. We are going to, each one of you are going to do your own, but they already have, I think they can write where they
In the
are.
notebooks.
Yes. And so the activity is about, like you are the senior 6 student activity. Assume in your Form 6 vacation, you got a volunteer job at a local education company in one of the big cities in Tanzania, or wherever you are, in one of the big cities where you are. On 1st June, that will earn you Tanzanian shillings 150 each month for the next 5 months. So assuming you already, I think, is there, do we need to, okay, you may need to assume because you have not yet got the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because you're already in vacation. So assume that you got a job on 1st June for the next 5 months. I want you to identify identify the source of income in this specific case scenario. We talked about different sources of income. We said there is salaries and wages, there is dividends, there is interest earned, pocket money, gifts, donations, winning a lottery, a few, to mention but a few. So in this specific example, can you do it, each one of you? What is this source of income? And the answers are here. One of them is here. And then B, outline at least 2 ways how you will spend such income. 2 ways. So you need to know in 5 months, how much will I have got? Or how much do I expect to get? Based on the salary that I'm going to earn. Now, after that, after you have known the amount, I want you to utilize that amount. Okay, how are you going to spend it? The choice is yours.
2 ways.
2, at least 2. I have put 2, but you can put more than 2. But of course, you remember you have to know the amount. Then we shall see whether you made with some money, where is it? Or is it, where do you keep it or something? Or where is it going? But identify at least 2 ways how you will spend your income.
And the cost, I'll just
Yeah, you have to use the cost because yes, and the cost. Yeah, so for example, if you say I want to buy a nice dress for attending my friend's party, I need you to put a dress. You say let's say 100,000, and if you mention something else, you also mention the money. You mention the money. Let's say I want to buy internet for catching up with colleagues, and so you mention that money. So I just want the, and I think you go through this every day. Yeah. Then last, you have you know you have your phones and you have what, but we have already given some hint. But you can use your phone, you can search, you can do what. I want you to give me not a definition, but an understanding about the difference between salary or wage and income. Just an understanding. Yeah. So I think we have 5 minutes. Okay. Yes. Okay. So remember that we shall use what we have put down up to the end of our session today. Yes? I repeat? B. B is saying outline at least 2 ways how you would spend your income, such income that you have got. So look at how much have you, so we're looking at your arithmetic skills. After 5 months, how much will I be having? And then we want to see. And we know that you can get, you're someone who's going to the university, you're in vacation, but you have not been given any limitation on how you should use your money. Brian, maybe you help to time us.
Okay.
When it is remaining 1 minute, you tell us.
Okay. How many minutes did you give?
5. We are now remaining 3.
Okay.
And I think I will ask after we have finished, I will ask 2 individuals, a lady and a gentleman, to tell us how much do they earn, give us what they have been able to come up with. So this is an activity on budgeting.
You have 1 minute and 52 seconds. You can use Pythagoras theorem. Lakini nusu ishi. Aha, okay. 1 minute and 15 seconds.
But you don't have to finish all the money. If you have already understood, but you tell us where you are putting it. I want to see. Sometimes unaweza ukanunua kompyuta zikaisha.
Mm.
Kama mtu ana so much work.
You have 30 seconds. Twenty, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 15, 12 seconds, 10 seconds, 9 seconds. Time is up.
Thank you. Yeah, so thank you. I hope through doing this exercise, you somehow disturb your brain to think very far and imagine. Because some good money here. Some good money. So I just want two people. I just like to tell us. We start with one. Tell us like, yeah, what did you get for us from here?
From A to C.
Yes. Oh, you can. Okay, you can tell us any. First tell us.
The area, you know, like it's so income, and from that scenario to salary.
Yes.
Now, how did I spend?
Yes.
What I've written,
Yes.
honestly,
Yeah.
I would say there are two ways.
And how much is the salary you have got?
Yeah.
Total.
So because the 5 months,
Yeah.
each month is 150,000.
Mm.
So it means by 5 months it's going to be 750,000.
Okay.
Yes. So I did not finish all the money
Yes.
because time was off.
Nice.
But for what I've written is that maybe I'll use the money to rent somewhere like for accommodation.
Accommodation.
So I've just assumed
Yeah.
it will take me 200,000.
Okay. So you plan to rent? Do you
Yes.
plan to rent?
Yes, that's because I'm going to university.
To the university?
Yeah. I was just assuming it's 200,000.
Yeah.
Then I was writing here the electricity, and I was assuming maybe per week I may be using maybe electricity of 10,000.
Yes.
So 10,000, because in 5 months there will be 20 weeks.
Yes.
So 20 times 10,000 is going to be 200,000.
Okay.
So it's going to be 400,000.
Yes.
So far.
So the 200 was meant for 5 months?
The 200,000
for rent. Let us assume so, because otherwise your money will not be enough. if it is for 5 months, it means elfu arobaini kila mwezi, si ndio? Laki mbili kwa kila mwezi inakuwa elfu arobaini, which is fair, because you would be surprised at your stage if you are going to the university and rent a house of 200,000 per month when you are earning 150. But if you rent a house of 40,000, it makes sense. Yeah. Pay a cost of 10,000, there is some sense in it. Yes.
So I finished the electricity. Then for the water bill, I assumed that maybe in 1 month I will be paying for 10,000.
Yes.
So for 5 months it will be 50,000.
5 months?
50,000.
Okay, 50,000. So the other one was 200, 450 now.
Yeah, half it's 450.
Yes.
Now for internet and airtime in total for 5 months.
Yes.
I assume it's going to be 50,000.
50,000.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 months. That's 500.
Yeah.
Okay.
500, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So for leisure for those 5 months, maybe let's say for recreation or something. for relaxation,
Yes.
I assume it's going to be maybe about 50,000 for
50,000.
5 months. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Or,
fine.
or let's say 100,000. But yeah, not 50,000.
It's fine because you may do it not every month. You can choose to jump.
Because most of the months
Yeah.
are busy. But
Yeah.
then for I think that's it.
Okay. So laki tano hamsini umebaki na laki mbili.
Yes.
Ungepewa chance ya mwisho, laki mbili ungezitumia wapi? Au ungeziweka wapi?
Laki mbili
Kulingana na knowledge ya finance hiyo ambayo
laki mbili, there are two things I would have done.
Yes.
Invest or save.
Ungesave.
Yeah.
Save chini ya
so save chini ya ningeweka ningeanzisha account ya benki.
Yes.
Then I would save some money there.
Okay.
Or I would invest kwenye mambo ya hizi kampuni ya shares labda.
Okay.
So I can just put my shares there. Then when they make profit, I also gain a profit.
Okay, thank you. So help me write those answers that you gave us that we have not written. Maybe somewhere we shall go back to that. So another person, but thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Also, I think it's simple. State have a lot of complications.
Yeah.
First, the source of income, I saw it was salary.
Yes.
Also, the way I work the money and said it's 750,000.
Yes.
I said that I'll just open a business like 300,000.
You open?
Being like an entrepreneur.
Okay, you open a business, a pet business, but you didn't think about what kind of business.
Yeah.
Okay.
It costs like about 300,000.
Okay.
And then save like investing in the big saving cost maybe for a quarter. And that's 4 months.
Yeah, it's like 4 times if it's quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It costs 350,000. And other users that will be using it, it costs 100,000. Such kind of.
Okay, yeah, 100,000, so it becomes 750.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So the difference is there, honestly.
Yes.
Yes, I came to know that salary usually has a period to end. You work, but you end it maybe monthly or a week that is salary. Which when someone, whenever after finishing your work, then gets his payment.
Okay.
And about income, it's anything that someone gets. Maybe you can get salary, a gift. That's how
A donation.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Can we clap for both of them? Yeah, so you know what you have written later along the way, so I'll call other people who have not spoken, maybe tell us somewhere along the way and tell us. But thank you very much. So we all agree that the income is going, the income, which in this case is salary, is going to be 750. Now you can imagine that at your level, if you got that, that's some good money. That's some good money. When you go out there, you need to ask what people earn, and especially at your stage, and you see. But that's some good money, 150,000, and so the source of income is a salary, and so like he said, salary you get it like based on time in most cases. Let's say a day or hours. Like in Europe, they work for hours and they are given a salary, so it is counted that you have worked for this and you are worth this amount of money at the end of the period. And wage, it can be after an activity you have done, like a task or an activity. It's a wage. But I was interested in the difference between salary or income. So we've seen that salary is something you're going to earn, but income is any source of money that comes your way. Yeah. And so in us talking about financial literacy, we are interested in income, not in salary. Yeah. So our interest is income. Now we shall see later that if you are only depending on your salary, life might be very hard. Yes. So someone check on him. Yeah, so like I was saying, that we are interested in income, not salary. And you'll find that not so many occupations or careers have enough salary to take care of all your needs. Neither, it may not even not be there, because remember that our wants, or they keep changing based on season, based on time. It could be you want a certain car this season, after some years you feel it's not the one, and so they keep changing. Yeah, so our interest is about the income, and the other way source of income, like like someone talked about, you could invest. And so I could be working and I'm having passive income stream. There are those sources of income where you are not involved per se, like 100%, but I put my money on the account and it is earning interest. I buy a share, let's say in Vodacom, in Tigo, and it is earning me something. And every after 6 months, I'm given a dividend. That's part of my income. I could be here, like what I've done personally is, for example, I buy motorcycles. We make mkataba, and each motorcycle I earn 1 million. Whether it has got lost, or it is not there, or it is spoiled, you give me my money. So that's what I've been doing. Yes, so it's a passive income. I'm not involved in managing it. I'm not there to see whether it's condition. But there's something I do to make sure that I keep checking on it, see whether it's there. Naweza nikapita kijiweni nikakuona upo, au nikakuagiza niletee kitu fulani nikakuona, nikakusalimia, na so you keep giving me my money, and it's somehow passive, not so much. So it is not shifting. So we are interested in income.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is the difference between salary and wage?
Salary and wage. So they are used interchangeably. And actually, when you look at even in accounts, they use them, they put salary stroke wage. But a wage can be more of what you get, what you earn after you have finished a certain task. And then a salary can be, for example, the amount of work you've done, but it's usually paid, let's say, a wage can be given immediately after you have finished the task, you are paid. Like a casual worker. Amekuja akafanya kazi mazingira, akapewa cha kwake hiyo siku, inakuwa like a wage. But the salary you find is based on time. Maybe I pay you per week, pay you per hour, I pay you per month, I pay you per number of days in a year. Yeah, but they are used interchangeably, they almost mean the same. So that was about budgeting. So for those of you who may be interested in going further with these things, so you can keep checking me, and then I mean, budgeting is a very big thing. It's a very big thing. But now we need just basic information, knowing that umetoka nyumbani, umeenda soko kuu. Don't buy everything that you find there.
Yeah.
Don't buy everything that attracts your eyes. And I must say that even budgeting and these things, sometimes they are also, somehow, I'm not biased as per se, but gender has a problem somehow when it comes to this. They say that women buy, is it by impulse? And
yeah,
toka nyumbani, umeona kiatu kizuri, ananunua. You get it. Yeah, so we are saying, can you plan ahead of time And no, this is going to be my monthly salary. This is going to be my annual salary. What do I plan to do? And so saving as our next concept on financial literacy. Saving is income not spent. Income not spent. Or deferred consumption. Deferred meaning you postpone consumption. You want to consume today and say, but wait, if I put this money somewhere, it can earn me something. By the time I get it, I'll get even some better product, and I remain with some balance. You defer, you postpone your consumption. Money not spent. So in most cases, most people, including those who have gone to school, they save after they have spent. But it's advised you save before you spend. In other words, in your budgeting, you should have said, I'm going to save this amount of money. Not because if you say, I save after spending, there are so many things that are going to come up. Emergencies, things that you do not plan for. Someone will fall sick, a visitor will come, and you say, I need to do something. And at the end of the day, first month, second month, third month, it will go, and you're not able to save. So while at the university, you get, I think at the university, I don't remember the money, but if you happen to get a government loan, you are likely to get, is it 8,500? I'm not very sure about the figure. Every day. 8,500, they give it to you twice in a semester. So 4 times in a year. But every day they have counted 8,500 at least. But when you look at the university, food that is sold there, I've been there before. I've eaten that food. 1,500 chakula. Wali nyama, kuna 2 pieces of meat, a bottle of soda. Kwa hiyo unaweza ukala. Sasa, but you find 8,500, someone finishes a semester, you can't ask them where is that money. What did they do? They can't even remember. But we are saying, ukipata boom, ambayo unapata mara 2 kwa muhula, kwa semester, it is very possible for you to put aside something. So put it aside before you spend, and then you save what has remained, because it may not remain. So we are saying that financial experts suggest that one should save at least 10% of their incomes. Remember, income is not only salary, but at least 10% of their income. So this one is almost like the same with tithe. Saving tithe 10%, giving God tithe of 10%. So 10% of that money should be saved. However, in my early years of my working career, Mr Ambrose, I conditioned myself that I should save at least 50% of my income. And if I cannot be able to save 50% of my income, then either my income is small or my expenses are very high. Done some mathematics, you have to change one. Income is equal to expense. The more you tamper with one, the other will also be tampered with. So I conditioned myself that if I cannot save 50% of my money, I need to know that what I'm getting is not enough. And I need to think about how do I get more. If I feel that the expenses are very high, now we can go back to the expenses you wrote. And we see, what can I change? Natumia umeme, I look for 10,000. If you are using, for example, general electricity bill, like normal bill, 10,000, you get about something like 28 units in Tanzania. But if you go ukasajiliwa kwenye layer, rural electricity and something, if you are not using 75 units in a month, 10,000 you get 75 units. If you get 75 units, it means that you are going to use them for a long time. And so it's a way of cutting a cost. So you must, if you must look at your expenses, is there where I can adjust? For example, I give my son internet, I give this one internet. I could choose and say, I'm going to have Wi-Fi at home. And instead of giving them individually, let them struggle with the individual part of it. But at home there is Wi-Fi. And I could cut some cost. So you must look at better ways of how to cut your cost. Recreation, I don't know about Arusha, but in Kampala, people like going out every Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You might be going out a lot for recreation and you're spending a lot of money. You need to think about how to reduce it. I have no problem with people who play pool, who play these games they're called them mchezo ya ile ambayo football mnacheza na zile machines zinaitwaje?
PlayStation.
A PlayStation.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it. But I personally, Ambrose, I don't want to learn those things. There are games that are played on addiction. And if you are not very careful, you find yourself spending a lot in that area. Unakuta baba, kila siku na lazima apitie sehemu ale nyama choma. Apitie sehemu anywe Kilimanjaro. Apitie sehemu afanye something. And nyumbani hajawacha hela za matumizi. So you have to be very careful. So if you find me as a person, if I can't say 50%, I need to look at these two sides. Income. Can I have an opportunity of adding my income? Can I have an opportunity of reducing my expenses? And later I will tell you like my path. Why am I doing it? And what am I expecting? So say at least 10%. That's what most experts suggest. 10% of your income, put it aside before you spend. The way you put tithe aside.
Mr. Ambrose, if I may add, I've learned, of course, through these teachings that people like Mr. Ambrose share, the advantage of, 10% may appear to be small, but the more your income grows, the saving grows. For example, you're just earning 70,000 and you're putting aside 7,000. Kwa ina maana ukijenga ile discipline hata ukitajirika, hiyo amount ambayo unakuwa unaiset aside ni kubwa. Sio kama unanielewa. But like it's a discipline that you should build with the little amount of money you have. Kwa mfano, I tell, for example, on the things to do with tithe, if you cannot tithe, let's say 1,000, don't think ukiwa na 1 million utatithe. So like, it's a discipline, you build it with time. Before you spend, unatenga your percentage. I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. And later we shall see how investment and saving, they are connected. In economics, we believe that saving is directly proportional equal to income. And like to add on his point, is that for you, the more you save, the more you invest.
Yeah.
And for you to increase your saving, you must increase your income. He has talked about it. Yeah. You must increase your income. Because if you want to save more, invest more, your income must increase. Yeah. So why save? We save to take care of emergencies such as sickness, loss of family member, hosting important visitors, losing a job, among others. So you could lose a job. you are working. One day we were in class when I was doing my master's. We were looking at financial analysis, ratios. And there is one of the ratio we were looking at was that what if money is not coming into the business? There is no cash flow. Can you survive? Now, when I came back, I asked myself, what if I'm not earning 6 months? How will my life be? Will kids go to school? Will I eat what I'm eating? Will I go where I go, where I spend leisure time? Something you need to ask yourself. So we save for emergencies. Emergencies are there. Someone will fall sick, whether you or someone close to you, and you may have to step in and help. There are visitors that who will come and you have to do something. You can't say, I'm not a sinner. There are those who will come and you have to do something. And so losing a job is possible. So financial experts again suggest that we should save only 6 months' salary. Only 6 months' salary should be saved. The rest should be invested. Six months, because some savings, like we've seen, you call it piggy bank. If you save there, the money is not adding value.
Yeah.
Unless you transfer it into an investment where it's going to earn interest. That's when so saying we only put 6 months salary, the only money we need, 6 months salary. Sasa, there are people, and perhaps you are one of them, unapenda kufungua simu yako ya M-Pesa uangalie una shilingi ngapi. Unakuwa unaziangalia, ukiziona unafurahi. You check your account. Like these days you have accounts on you have applications on your phone. Unafungua naona una milioni 2, unafurahi. You get it? So there are people who have that tendency, but you are saying the only money you need, financial experts are saying 6 months salary. The rest you don't need it. Invest it. Put it somewhere it's going to earn something for you. Yeah. Yes?
Sorry.
Let me continue so that
So
the other one is to undertake a project or acquire property in future, such as studies, build a house, a car, or buy land. You may need to do something. There's something you desire to have, like buy a property, undertake a project. You can choose to study, to go back to school. Why do you study? You study so that you can earn more. You study that so that you can become more productive. Doesn't mean to do a degree or a master's, but small certificates can earn something for you. To invest in the future or whenever an opportunity shows up. So for example, you've seen there are people who do businesses in seasons, like those who do with agricultural produce. Na msimu wa mchele, like it's time for beans, they go and buy and stock and sell after. So that opportunity you can only take advantage of it if you putting money aside. You can also invest in buying a bond from a company. Whenever the prices go down for the bond, you buy. You wait to sell when it has gone up and get something out of it. Identify ways how you can save your money. So you're saying save part of your income on a bank account. For example, savings account. Saying savings account earns interest and withdrawals are on a quarterly basis. You can withdraw money on a savings account quarterly. So in most cases, people who have a savings account, some banks don't even have ATM cards because ATM card is like you're working with money. So the other, you only withdraw it quarterly, every after 3 months. If you get a problem, you can withdraw it, but they will not give you the interest. They penalize you, or they cut the interest. Or you can save your on a fixed deposit account. So I don't know how many people have bank account here. But use mobile money platforms such as M-Pay. Kule kwenye M-Pay, the people can even save like 10 people together. There are some workers at school that who have been doing it. Like you can agree we shall be saving. You open an account of M-Pay, the moment you send money, it goes there. Another one sends, it goes there, and each one of them has their money there. And withdrawing it kuna utaratibu, you need signatories, people to agree. Yeah. Use circles or microfinance saving schemes. So this is one of them. For example, if you plan to get 1.3 million at the end of the year, if you choose to save 1,000 each, no, you start with 1,000 the first week. The second week you save 2,000. Third week 3,000. The fourth week 4,000. You continue like that until 365 days are over. You'll have 1.3 million
in a year.
In a year. So depending on your target. So if you want to save more, you can start with 2,000, but you have to keep, the following week you add 1,000. Third week you add 1,000, like that. So there are many, but I just chose to use one. Investment. Investment is the process of acquiring an asset or an item with the aim of generating income or appreciation over a period of time. So you need to buy an asset. You need to buy an item. And this item is aimed at bringing you a gain. You buy land, you sell it after some time, you sell it at a higher price. That's called appreciation in value. Even a share, you buy it, it appreciates in value. It's an investment. So saying investment can also simply mean sacrificing some money value in the present with the expectation of making gain in future. You sacrifice some money value today, put it somewhere, and then it works, and in future you get more. So investment areas to invest in financial assets or financial securities like bonds. Bonds can be for the government, can be for the company. In most cases, government bonds have less risks, but low profit or dividend. Because for them, even if the government ikitoka, rais akatoka, kaja mwingine, watakulipa hela zao. Kampuni ikianguka, ikipata shida, you may get some issues. So, but government bonds have less dividends, but more secure, more stable. Company bonds, which we call debentures, they have high dividends, but high risk. So there are different types of bonds, like ordinary shares, preferred shares. This one it can take some time, but you can also look at them. Investment in real estates. It can be buying land, it can be buildings, like rentals, it can be commercial buildings, it can be industrial property, real estates. Invest in real estates. Investment in further education or knowledge and skills. I may not necessarily go to school, but if I am spending my salary each month on buying internet to be able to access materials on YouTube, that I'm getting knowledge, I am investing in knowledge. After going to school, I realized that it's not the degree or the course you have studied, but it's how good are you at what you know. And when you go to school, you're not going to learn everything in the 3 years you're going to be at school. Everything in the 4 years you're going to be at school. Everything in the 5 years you're going to be at school. You will have to learn certain things on your own. And that's what I'm talking about, investing in knowledge and skills. To create chances for attracting a better pay. Remember we said, for you to be able to save more, you must earn more, and then you save more and invest more. Otherwise, the 10% of your salary income might be very small and it may not be helpful.
So I have a question.
You ask her then, you notice someone.
I know someone.
Yeah, you notice someone. Invest in further education, stroke knowledge and skills, great chances of attracting a better pay, promotion. When I went to school, I found that government workers, they used to be promoted every after 3 years. Okay, you stand a chance to be promoted, apart from the time of President Magufuli. So every 3 years, they promote people, and people are running up and down getting certificates. And in class, they would say, we don't need the knowledge, we need the certificates. They would say it openly. So I was saying that going back to school or getting the skills, performing well at work with the skills that we have acquired could earn you a promotion or get a better job. I myself, there are students that they have come to me asking me, why do you keep going to school? I told them I need to. First, this year I'm making 40 years. And at 40 years, you start attracting big things.
Yeah.
But also, my family is growing. The needs of my family, they are becoming bigger. I was telling Brandon when we were coming that my car is making 9 years this June 30th. And I don't think I would have changed it, but because the family is growing, it may not be able to carry the weight with the poor roads. So my needs are growing. Unless I can be able to do these things, and like we're talking about, time will come when this car cannot move and I don't have money to buy another one. So needs are increasing. So I need to invest in education, in knowledge, in skills, so that I am better at work. The work ambayo nimepewa. Mweze kuifanya vizuri. I stand a chance of promotion, attracting a corporate job. Or even if I'm not, it's not about a corporate job. Like, I mean, I find more meaning in the work that I'm doing. So, investment again. So, we are saying that for you, like those of you who may want you in future or now, it is interesting. You might think that these things are for the future, but I was talking to someone, I don't know which year he finished at Cornerstone, but he's still at the university. And he told me why he was at Ilbor as a student. He bought bonds. Nakaniambia, I have them, and they have grown to this amount. So you might think these things are for the future, but they are not for the future. Others are already there. So you'll hear something to do with the investment profile. So like any other investment, there are risks. So investment profile is where is like you get classes of assets. You get assets owned by one individual. Labda, I have land. Labda, I buy shares. Labda, I'm doing some business. I'm going to school. You know, so those individuals put together, they are called investment profile. So we are told that we should have an investment profile there is negative relationship in those assets. Kwa mfano, you remember that during Corona came, businesses closed, tourism industry closed, air transport closed, even transport closed generally in some countries where they locked the economy. But those who had hospitals did not close. So they are saying investing, for example, in tourism. Then instead of going to transport, come and invest, let's say, in health sector. Because these two things have a negative relationship. Moja ikipungua, nyingine haipungui. Yeah, so this was this example. So like this is one of the examples that I did at campus when I was doing masters. And so you can have some money on a fixed deposit account in any bank. I chose CRDB and NNB, and there were some reasons that you have to show why, because you show the interest that you're earning. Then bonds, treasury bonds and treasury bonds, yes, for 5 years and 10 years, maturity time. After 5 years, I'm paying back my money, and my interest is coming maybe every after 6 months. After 10 years, I'm paying back my money. There are people who are investing even bonds for 25 years. So real estates, rentals in DA, according to the research I did, rentals for business in DA were the most profitable business. Not sehemu za watu kuishi kufanya nini, lakini za business. Stocks, like you buy Vodacom stocks. And by then when I did this research, Vodacom was leading in terms of market share in the country. Then mutual fund is where, for example, instead of you buying hisa ya Vodacom, unaenda unachukua kama mutual fund kama UTT. Wale wamewekea Vodacom, wakaweka Tigo, wakaweka oil and gas, wakaweka, let's say, tourism industry. When something happens in a sector, they don't all go. The value of your investment does not go down completely. So mutual fund it's an investment vehicle where you invest in more than one item, but someone is doing it on your behalf. Let's say a company. If you buy shares on your own, sometimes you need someone to keep guiding you. When do I sell? When do I recover my money? And it requires time. But if you do mutual fund, like a company like UTT, wenyewe wanaenda wanawekeza. Wamewekeza kwenye vitu zaidi ya kimoja. Na even if a problem happens in one, it will not be affected wholesale. So that's an investment vehicle. So this is a chart, and I was showing certain percentage. And my intention was to get all the money after 10 years, put it in real estate. The reason why I put some of money on a fixed deposit account was to be, on current account which does not earn interest, to be able to pay bills za wafanyakazi, kurepare real estates, kulipa mishahara ya watu, nikitaka kuzichukua masaa 24 nazichukua. Kile fixed deposit account nilikuwa sizigusi. So this is the research that I have done. So why do we invest? Take care of inflation. The value of money reduces with time. The 10,000 of today cannot do the same thing after 3 years. If 10,000 is buying you a skirt, you can be sure 3 years it will not buy the same skirt of the same value. That's why we invest. Money loses value over time due to this reason. For a given unit of money, to retain its purchasing power in future, it must be invested. 2, investment helps to meet our other financial needs. Mahitaji mengine. 3, investment helps to appreciate capital and hence create wealth. Hela zako zinaongezeka na kutengeneza utajiri. I was reading about Warren, it's called Warren
Buffett.
He's the 9th richest person.
Yeah.
And they are talking about his stage and how he has got the money and all that. But he has accumulated a lot of money. Then the other one, that it helps prepare for retirement. Human being cannot work forever. Neither can they earn forever. What you do today can help you after you retire. What you do today as you go to the university can help you after you have finished school, and parents are no longer giving you money because they know you have finished school. And the government boom is no longer coming. You can start surviving. The scriptures about investment, the parable about the talents, and if you have the Bible, you read about verse 27, chapter 25, verse 27. And this one is talking about the one who was the servant who was given 1 talent and went and kept it and said that he believed that the master was very difficult and kept it and brought it the way it is. Matthew chapter 25, verse 27. It's between 14 and 30. And I know we are all aware about this, but I just want you to read about verse 27.
27, it reads, then I would have received it all back with interest when I returned.
Yes. So you see, I would have received it with interest. The one that I was reading was saying you should have taken it to the bankers.
Yes, it's a different version.
Kept it, and I received it with interest. Yeah. So, yeah. So there is this part, debt, which is the last part, debt or borrowing. So the other way we can get money is borrowing. And we are going to borrow. We are going to university. University is going to give you school loan. That's borrowing. Borrowing or debt, money owed to an individual, institution, government, or other entity. This can be in form of loan payment made on a regular basis. Examples. The average college student is over 30,000 in debt from college loans after they graduate from college. This was an example, I think, is from these European countries. But there is one that I said that in Tanzania, a beneficiary of government study loan accumulates about 12 million Tanzanian shillings at the end of the university degree.
It's true.
Kuna wengine wanaenda hadi milioni 15. So there are good debts versus bad debts. We want to see them. For example, reproductive debt or productive debt versus dead weight debt. The bad debt is called dead weight debt. It's dead. Ukileta na kwa shida. So productive debt is expected to create assets that will yield sufficient income to pay off the principal as well as the interest. You borrow money, you buy land. After you have bought land, at the end of the day, when you sell it, you can even pay the money you borrowed. You pay even in interest and remain with the asset. Productive debt. Buy it, get the debt, go to school, get a study, increase your ability to earn, get a better job. Pay back the loan, pay back the interest, and remain with your degree. That's a productive debt. Whereas dead weight debt or unproductive debt is a debt that does not increase the productive capacity of the economy. The debt that maintains the economy, for instance, debt to pay salaries of civil servants, pay rent, electricity, lights, sewage or public good. This one is supposed to be sewage or public good. So, for example, now you borrow money, you pass in a bar, you drink. You borrow money, you buy meat, take home, you eat. You borrow money, unachukua safari, naenda Ngorongoro. We are saying it's a dead weight debt or a bad debt. So examples. So we are saying that good debts, borrow money to study. I can imagine if I had an opportunity to be given a government loan, what I would have studied. I didn't have that opportunity. But borrowing, getting a government loan that you will pay later for education is not bad. It's a good debt. You borrow for business. But experts say, don't borrow to start a business, borrow to inject in business. Financial experts say, don't borrow to start a business, but borrow to inject in a business. Business tayari inaendelea, unaongezea mtaji, sio kuanzisha. Naanzisha wanakuambia biashara lina faida nini, unafika kule, you will get a problem. And your house will be taken, your land will be taken, so you'll be arrested. Borrow to buy a home. Because if you have been buy a home or build a home, if you've been paying rent, like he has told us, 200,000 per month, and you have built a house, it means you will not pay that rent. That money for rent can be taken to something else. So bad debts, borrow to buy a car. So we are told we should borrow to do things that appreciate in value. If you buy a car, it depreciates in value. The man I bought my car, today if I am to sell it, I cannot sell it the same amount of money. So what if I borrowed you assuming that I had a job and I lose the job? The moment you get a car out of the yard where it is and put a number plate, the value goes down. Even before driving it. Unless if you are buying a car to help you go to a place of work. You get it? Unataka uwahi kazini. Kazi zako, you need to go and represent yourself like a corporate worker. Like I'm going as an accountant. I need to go when I'm driving a good car. I am smart. I go as a lawyer. I go as an engineer, as an architect. I want to work. If I go, I driving my car, they will give me money based on the way they interpret me. If you are buying it for that reason, lakini buying it for starehe, it's a bad date. Credit. So in developed countries, I have seen it even here. I think I've seen it even some supermarkets have them. Credit cards. Unaomba hela, wanakuwekea kwenye kadi, unaenda na kuwa na swipe, unanunua vitu. Lakini wale ambao wamekuwekea hela kwenye credit card, wanakuwa wanakuwekea interest ya kulipa. Yes. Sasa unakuta muda wote wewe una hela. Ukiona anything you buy, everything you see you buy, everything you see you buy, but you have debts. You are accumulating debts. Songesa kwenye simu inakushongesa. Like, you know that. Someone was telling me my phone internet has been blocked because I borrowed money. How much? 35,000 for internet. Now it has been blocked. So you borrow all the time. And you're saying I can borrow even up to 250 on Tigo. Said, okay. But don't get used. You are borrowing to consume. Every time you are spending. So those are some of the examples of bad debts and good debts. My advice, avoid debts that carry high interests. It's good to borrow. If you are borrowing money that doesn't have interest, you're borrowing money and putting it something that is appreciating in value. That's a good one. Avoid bad debts unless they are incurred to save a situation. Una mgonjwa, ameumwa, anatakiwa peleke hospitali, usipopata hela anakufa. You can't borrow, isn't it? Unless it is saving a situation. You have a child, au wewe ni mwanafunzi uko chuo, unatakiwa kufanya mtihani yako ya mwisho. Mzazi amekosa ada. Borrow and pay the ada, umalize kosi yako. Yeah. Through. Yeah, thank you. There are some of you had some questions. Yeah, thank you. Unless someone has something to say.
Questions?
Yes.
I have questions. First, can you tell me the difference between a stock and a bond?
A stock and a bond. Like we said, a bond is just like an instrument that you use for borrowing. It can be used by a company or a government. It's a paper, but it has value written on it. Kwa mfano, the government wants money from the people, the public. They call on people who have money. They release the bonds. So, unawapa milioni 30. Pale kwenye bond yako wanaandika, bond is worth 30 million with this interest, this dividend after these 2 years. After 2 years, they will get back your 30 million plus the interest. The 2 years we call it the maturity date. Now stocks is like a collection of shares. Like you have more than one share. Share in sawasawa na hisa. It's an instrument of borrowing. A company wants to borrow money. You borrow, let's say for example, the company wants to borrow money from the public, let's say Vodacom, and inaweka hisa sokoni. Ikiziweka sokoni, ukinunua zile hisa, kuna hisa zina differences. Kuna moja utainunua itakufanya uwe mmiliki wa ile kampuni. Kuna zingine utazinunua itakufanya you even make decisions. Na zingine like the differences are there. They need more time. But stocks sasa ukiwa nazo za aina nyingi. Zile shares za aina nyingi, kwa mfano zikawa nyingi zinakuwa stocks. Yeah. So, but this one needs more time. It can even take more time than this, but we can keep interacting, and I have the materials about them. Yeah.
Another question. You spoke about that if you're not earning 6 months, you should invest it, not save it.
If you are
Earning like a 6 month salary, they advised that the money should be invested, not saved.
okay, but you finish your question.
Yeah, that's the question.
That's the question. Okay, the point is that nilikuwa naongelea kwamba people keep money. It's there on a bank account that is not even earning interest. You know, these current accounts, like where you use an ATM 24 hours, they're not earning interest. They instead charge you. Unakuta mtu mzima ana milioni 15, anakuwa anaziangalia, anaona zipo, anavimba kwamba ana hela kwenye account. Au wewe unaweza ukawa nazo milioni 3 zako, kwa sababu the size of the amount of money, whether big or small, depends on the individual. Now, financial experts say we don't need all the money on our accounts or under the bed or wherever you are keeping it, which is saving. You must convert that money into an investment. The only money you need is 6 months salary to take care of emergencies. Nimepoteza kazi, ndugu yangu amefiwa, natakiwa niende kumsaidia au niende naye sehemu, amepata tatizo nimsaidie, nifanye nini? 6 months salary will take care of that. Because remember, you're continuing to earn. So he's saying, put the remaining money somewhere where you can't touch it, you can't reach it, where you have invested and it's earning interest. That's what financial experts are saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question. You say that you've invested in a motorbike.
Yeah.
So, what is the risk of investing in transportation stuff like Nikamani, not a car, and I got it to a person who drives taxi?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that in a risk kubwa compared to ulisema kusave kwenye education or health?
Yeah.
So, what is the risk you personally
And transport. Yeah, transport has so many risks because in vyombo vya moto, viko barabarani. You can buy a car today, before you even reach home, you crash. You can imagine you have bought a motorcycle, you have given it to someone, ni ya mkataba, lakini mtu amekufa na pikipiki yake imekuwa crash. Inaibiwa, mimi zimeshaibiwa 2. Nimeshawahi kwenda na mahakamani kwa sababu ya pikipiki kuibiwa. Zinaibiwa. So there are risks that are associated with any kind of business has its own risks. So transport, because they are machines, they move on a road every day, they have their own risks. Sasa, do you try to compare that with another? But generally, me as an individual, I like transport. I like transport. If I had money, I would be having transport. When, like for example, in business, there's what we call supply chain. One of the supply chain department is transport. Kwa mfano, na kuku za mayai, nakuwa na pikipiki yangu au na buta yangu, inaniletea chakula cha kuku. Nikimaliza inapeleka kuku sokoni. Nikirudi nafanya nini? Au inafanya delivery kwa customers. So transport, depending on how you are using it, but it can be a good area. In supply chain, tunaangalia connection of business to another business. Which business inazalisha nyingine? But transport, you need to be able to understand it. But when you look at buses here, there are buses which have been on the company buses that have been on the market for a long time. And you see they are growing, they're expanding, others are dying off completely. So there are risks. Every business has its own risks, so it needs you to take time. And you see, ile pikipiki unaweza ukainunua ukampa mtu akapotea nayo, usimuone kabisa. Kama maeneo kama unamkabidhi natoka kwenye wilaya fulani anaenda nyingine na watu ni wengi sana. So there is an old boy who asked me, should I do this? Namwambia, you have to involve the parents, fanya mkataba ya kisheria, get like pictures and national IDs na nini. But mimi, what I do as an individual, I go to your home. Before I give you one, I study the behavior. There is a behavior that is risky. I look at you and know you are risky. Even if you kiongea dakika 30 ukifanyaje sikupe. Kuna mtu ataniambia, so I study the behavior. I come to your home. I sometimes I let your brother, your sister, or your wife know, or your father. And then two, I make sure that I'm able to see it like each week. I don't have to come and stand and call you, let me see. I pass. I see it. I know where you are. So there are companies which you even put a truck. You can put a truck in a motorcycle. Wherever it is going, you are seeing it on the phone. So there are dynamics of every business. So when you go there, you know, what do I need to do? Yeah. Yes.
Excuse me, sir. Now in investing, for instance, us in our age, in buying shares. Okay. What is can we get, I think, I'm not sure, can we have shares which we can afford right now?
Yes.
Or the shares, for instance, as you said, those companies like Vodacom and all those companies, aren't the shares having a very high price?
A very high price. No. There is, for example, an old boy that I've been chatting with, I think this last week. And these were about bonds. And so it depends on the company. So sometimes what they do, because they are aiming at getting a lot of money, they can say, these ones are shares of what? Let me see this combination. These were, I think, bonds of a certain company. And he was telling me that the minimum amount they wanted like 10. Meaning that you could buy ya 500,000, milioni 1, milioni 2. Kwa mfano ukitumia bumu yako. But there are shares like, let's say Vodacom, and what sometimes you find a share is 20,000. One share. But they want a minimum, wanataka 250,000. Kwa maana hiyo nanunua shares za idadi kiasi fulani. So it is possible to buy they usually group them because they don't want people who will come, I brought my 20,000 to buy the shares. Yes. So they group them, they say share is 20,000, but in a group of 400. So you know, by the time I buy 400 shares, how much do I need? Lakini inawezekana. It is very possible. So it is also important that you buy when they first bring them on the market. They call it initial public what? Offer. Zimetoka, wametangaza, wanatangaza kama wiki 3 tu ziko, ukienda benki, ukienda popote unainunua. Ukikuta imeshatoka pale, inapelekwa kwenye stock exchange. Or stock exchange ya hiyo nchi. Ikienda kule, you need someone to help you. It becomes, you need to give them a commission. You need to do something. But ikiwa kwenye initial public offer, they even talk about platforms za kuzinunua. Kwa hiyo unaingia benki unanunua. Unaingia hapo unanunua. Unafanya nini? Unatulia. So it is very possible that you can buy them.
So like, and do they give those initial public, what you say?
Yeah, initial public offer.
Yeah, do they do them after which period of time, or?
Okay, they usually it's the board that sits of a company and say tunahitaji wa hela. Tuzipateje? Wanna make a decision. We should offer shares for public to buy. Sasa if for example, when you are interested in buying, unakuwa unafuatilia hizo taarifa. I think kama kwenye stock exchange au website za hizo kampuni unakuwa unazifuatilia. Au unaweza kawa na mtu ndani akakwambia NMB imekaribia kutoa, wiki ijayo inatoa. So unafuatilia hizo taarifa, unachukua. Sasa uzuri wake ni kwamba ukichukua, you keep quiet, you do your things, you don't have to be bothered so much. Kwa hiyo unaweza ukasoma, ukafanya mambo yako without being so much scared. Other than, kwa mfano, other businesses where you have to be involved in buying and selling every day as a student or as someone's worker, it might be a little bit hard. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so I see there were some people online. I don't know whether they are still there, but we just want to thank each one of you for taking your time off to attend. Yeah. So I do this. I do it at a personal level. I communicate with some people. I get to know what they're interested in. Then I look for information which suits like that kind of business. And I get information about how a certain business is doing, even if I don't have someone to give the information. But when I get to the person who needs the information, I have an idea about this. When I put that, like I know some businesses and how they are performing, because I'm also trying to grow a career. I wish to be a consultant in tax, business, and finance. And so I'm trying to get the papers, the finances, and everything that I need to be able to reach at that level. Thank you.
Karibu sana.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What a cozy place.
Karibu mama.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
She first sit here,
Yeah.
we go straight.
Mama karibu.
Asante sana. Let me face this.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Asante
You-
sana.
you
So
have
you've
a-
been teaching, you know?
Yeah, he has been
Asante
teaching.
sana.
Karibu mama.
Asante sana.
Yeah, so he's called Mr. Ambrose.
Okay.
Yeah, he is the head of the finance department at Cornerstone, as I was telling you outside.
Okay.
So he has been offering a presentation to these friends
Asante
here.
sana. Yeah.
And these are the guys that have been here since Sunday.
Okay.
And they'll be leaving on Monday morning. Our camp is ending on Sunday.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you have rooms like to do.
Yeah, we have 3 rooms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have 3 rooms. Yeah.
Asante.
Karibu.
Asante
So
sana.
we go to the same church.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's also having a missionary program, would I say? The one I attended.
Yeah,
the
it's
interface.
like a mission, a missions program,
yeah. So I've had an opportunity to learn from that missionary program.
Yeah, that was a short because we have actually, I met this, I don't know if he was the leader of Cornerstone, because we were talking about Kairos and he was interested in having Kairos for the staff.
Is it Mr. Sam or Mr. Eliam? You don't remember the name?
I think I took his number, but it has been like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe one of those. Yeah.
maybe one of those. And I think you are there and also some Ngoi,
Yeah, Ngoi was also there.
who knows
Actually,
Kairos.
Ngoi met his wife through your program.
Yeah, he met
through
his
our
wife,
program,
yes.
Ngoi met.
They were both there studying, and we call them Kairos couple.
Yeah.
Because after a year of this, the completing the course,
Yeah.
they
Thank you so much.
married.
Yeah, I hope you guys have learned a lot. Yeah. I've recorded it. I think I will share with you. Yeah, but we also had some like 6 online participants. They were following up. Yeah, the presentation.
Yeah, I saw, I think, Alam.
Sorry.
Alam.
Yeah.
I saw Alam.
Alam was there. Sakalani. This guy who is in Costa Rica. Anton Jafari also.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Guys, I hope you have learned a lot. And you can always access him. I mean, he's really good into the things of finance. And he's willing. Being good is one thing, but being willing to offer help is another thing. So he's willing to help you.
Thank you. So I think you need to take
Sure.
the gadgets and
Sure.